It's gonna be scary. 3, 2, 1.
Run!
Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new Owen Hubbard production. Today, we'll be diving into a different story. And today, we'll be talking about 4nn1, a user who went missing. So, let's get straight on into it. Before I tell you the story, I want to tell you a bit about myself. I'm your average wannabe developer, constantly building in a studio, trying to learn Lua, and constantly fantasizing about my super popular, super successful game and all my fans. I'm also a bit of a myth fanatic. I've never believed in occults, nor have I believed in many conspiracy theories within a children's MMO. But I love the idea of all these creepy stories, John and Jane Doe, Jerry, Melvin, and so on and so forth. Nowadays though, I stay away from all that. I don't know whether this was a prank or some fishy business, but giving me my fill of creepiness. Alright, here's what happened. I logged into Roblox sometime in December to play some games, build some models, and chat with my friends. Seeing that one of my good friends was online, I opened my chat and invited her to a party. She then told me that she had to leave to do some shopping. Per the usual, she was always busy. Shortly after that, I got a warning from a user called 4nn1, lit speak for Annie, I gathered. It was fairly innocent, with the misspellings and grammar of your average young girl, complete with one too many smileys. It reads as follows.
Hi, username. I saw your place and I think you're very good at building. I think we should be friends. We could hang out in my place. It will become famous one day if you help me.
Honestly, I would have ignored it under normal circumstances. This girl was probably 10 years old, at most, trying to become popular and have a lot of cool friends. However, I had been invited to this party, despite never seeing this user before. I've set my chat privileges to friends only, and she's not on my friends list. I double checked all of these multiple times. No, my followers weren't allowed to chat with me. No users I follow was allowed to chat with me. Even if they could, she wasn't following me, I wasn't following her. Of course, it could be easily a glitch. After all, I do remember sending random party requests to users I didn't know, just for kicks. I chatted back at her. Thanks for the compliment, but who is this? Are you one of Delura's little friends? A few seconds passed, and then she replied,
I don't know Delora, sorry, but please come to my place.
So I wasn't playmate of my sister's. I decided to leave it at that and go play some other different games. Only a few minutes later, 4nn1 messaged me again. I said, come to my place. I ignored it, continuing to play games. I didn't need to get myself involved with some first grader needy for attention. I don't really like kids, and I prefer to play by myself. Youth-hating introvert master race. She continued to message me. I stopped reading them pretty quickly, but she kept on messaging me. The constant string of notification beeps grew irritating, so I muted my browser. Eventually, I left my game. 4nn1 had stopped messaging me, so I closed my chat window. Mistake. She picked up her pace right away, and despite closing the chat box, it kept popping up again. A Roblox feature that time and time again has frustrated me to no end. In the end, I decided that I would join a game, even if only to make her shut up. There may have also been a mistake. I joined the game, which was simply titled 4nn1's place. The description was default as well. The place itself was the generic starter place with everything coloured a bright shade of pink, with 3 models of flowers, cats and dogs. 4nn1 was already in the game, waiting for my arrival. Upon seeing me, she typed several messages, overly excited that I was in the game. Oh my god, username. Oh my god, username, with a bunch of exclamation marks. Welcome. That was pretty much all there was. She told me a little bit how she liked cookies and how much she liked cats. After about 10 minutes, she informed me that her mother had told her it was time for bed. She then said her goodbyes and left the game. I followed suit. Only being an evening for me, I opened up Roblox Studio and worked on various models before eventually turning in early. 4nn1 did message me for the rest of the week, allowed me some precious time to forget about her. In fact, when she did message me again, it took me a while to realise it was her. 4nn1 asked me to come and play with her again. I gladly obliged, knowing that I'd avoid major annoyances. However, a message bothered me. She'd been replacing her usual smileys with frownies, and even her avatar's face didn't look too good either. However, other than those two rather jarring things, she kept her upbeat attitude. It wasn't any of my business, so I didn't ask. Probably upset with some rude kid at school or something. Annie simply chatted at me while I was in her place. I was multitasking, playing phone games and not really paying attention to 4nn1. However, I put my phone down once and she started asking me some rather disturbing questions. Do you ever want to touch the rusty nails? Have you ever eaten a raw dog? Where do you live? I patiently told her to stop asking these questions as they made me uncomfortable. She didn't. She's kept asking the same questions, telling me that I couldn't leave until I answered them. At this point, I had enough and left the game. I blocked Anna and didn't hear from her again. That was what was supposed to happen. Only 2 days later, she sent me several angry and upset messages with the disturbing questions from before mixed in. She wanted me to come back to her game because I'd been cheated by not answering her questions. She tried everything from guilt tripping to insulting me, and even to serious claims of how she only had so many days left to live. I continued to ignore it, muting my browser and playing a different game. I joined a game of Death Run to pass the time, but was instead redirected to Annie's place. Instead of in the lovely island of Death Run, I was in with the all too familiar ugly pink cabin. Annie wasn't happy to see me, despite her getting her way. She asked me why I hated her, why I kept leaving, and why I was so mean. I politely told her to calm down. She did, but continued to stay sober and upset. After that, I really hoped that I would never see her again, but of course I was dragged into playing with this maniac of a girl again. Her avatar's appearance had changed again. There was a streak of red across her face, and the dogs in her yard had disappeared. This time, Annie didn't yell at me or ask any disturbing questions. She chatted with me about the things she liked again, but without her usual pep. After a while, Annie rather suddenly said this: "It's hot in here." She left the game immediately after. Her pink house set ablaze and the sky grew dark. My morbid curiosity led me into the burning house. Inside was a dark, burning figure with a grotesque smile. I left the game and logged off Roblox. I felt sick to my stomach. If this was a prank by some exploiter, it was a downright disgusting one. I stayed off Roblox for a few weeks, and when I came back, I was somewhat relieved to see that she hadn't contacted me again. I never saw her again.
Hello guys, I went digging and I found out that Annie's account is actually still up and her place is active. Let's go ahead and investigate what's going on. Let's go and join. Whoa. What? This is so weird. Whoa, everything is pink. Okay, let's keep on exploring. So, this was the infamous house that in the story, the creature appeared at. As you can see, it's burning down. Let's go ahead and head inside. It's gonna be scary. 3, 2, 1.
Run!